الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين والعاقبة للمتقين أما بعد. We had begun our chapter of as-sawm, the fasting, after concluding the Kitab al-Salah, the chapter regarding the different masail, the fiqh rulings of the prayer. And we covered some things about fast last week when we had the class. What the fast is, when a fast becomes farad, upon whom the fast becomes farad. There were a number of things that were discussed. Inshallah, today we'll discuss the mufsidat and the things that break our fast and things that don't break our fast. So mufsidat is anything that makes our fast invalid, fasid. So there are a number of things that actually do break our fast, and then there are a number of things that don't break our fast. The number one thing that breaks our fast, of course, that we all know, that is eating and drinking intentionally. Anyone who intentionally eats or drinks while he is fasting, and he knows he is fasting, and it is not an accident, it is not a mistake, it will immediately invalidate his fast. And on top of that, the person will have to pay kafara, not just mere qada, but kafara. And inshallah we'll learn the difference between the qaza and kafara as well. Qaza means that you just have to make up for that one fast. Kafara means not only that you have to make up for that fast, but on top of that you have to pay a penalty. And in the case of sawm, the penalty is 60 consecutive fasts. That for 60 days consecutively a person has to fast. If he has done something, he has violated his fast, and now he has to pay penalty on top of that, which we call the kafara, and which is 60 consecutive days of fasting. So much so the ulama, they have written that if a person fasts 59 days consecutive, he misses the 60th day, you have to start over again. And this is for one missed fast. Fast of Ramadan, of course, not outside of Ramadan. So eating and drinking, a person who does that intentionally, he will break his fast. Also in eating and drinking is smoking and vaping. A person who smokes, he vapes, knowing that he is fasting, that will invalidate his fast immediately. There are a few other things as well, inshallah, that we will later on discuss. The second is the person has a physical relationship with his wife. Intentionally, a person who does that, his fast immediately breaks. There is some detail in it that if a person does not perform full intercourse, but he only kisses the wife, for example, or he touches it, and during that a person ejaculates, that also will break this person's fast. However, there is one thing to note here is a wet dream does not break fast. A person, he had a wet dream, and because of that, ghusl becomes fard upon him. That will not invalidate a person's fast. It is like a person who eats forgetfully. Out of forgetfulness, if you eat or you drink, that does not break the fast. Similarly, if a person has the wet dream and he wakes up, he has to do ghusl, he has to take a bath, that will not break the fast. But intercourse, or if he just touches or kisses the wife, and because of that a person ejaculates, that also will break his fast, and he will have to make qaza of it. The third thing, the mufsidat, the things that break our fast, are medical related stuff. Now here there is some ikhtilaf amongst the ulama. Number one is about the injection itself. Any sort of medical injection that a person takes, that in fact does not break a person's fast, because for a person's fast to be broken, something has to enter through the normal passageway, which is, number one, considered the mouth. If it is not through the mouth, but in a vein that a person's injection was given, that will in fact does not break a person's fast. So taking injection while a person fasting will not break that fast. Now, here is a couple other things, and that is taking medicine through different other orifices. For example, there are people use eardrops, they use eye drops. These for regarding these issues, regarding eye drops, it is agreed upon view that does not invalidate the fast. That if a person uses the eye drop for whatever reason, of course, it is not recommended that a person does it if he doesn't have any need for it. But eye drops does not break a person's fast. Ear drops, however, classical ulama, they have written ear drops does break fast. However, I will like to add one thing here. Ear drops, they say, do break a person's fast. But this is the classical view of the ulama. The contemporary ulama, they have diverged from that, and they have come upon with a different view. And they, because how the medical science has advanced much more in recent times, so what they have learned is that the ear canal or the passage, it does not directly connect to the stomach, neither the brain, because these are sort of, if something directly goes to a person's brain, like a person sniffs something and it goes into the brain, or it goes directly into the stomach through whatever orifice, that will break a person's fast. But they have, after studies, recent discoveries, is that ear canal, if something were to go inside the ear, it does not reach the stomach, nor does it reach the brain. And because of that, some of the contemporary ulama, they have given the fatwa that eardrops does not invalidate a fast, but still the cautious approach and view is that it does. And upon that note, I will quickly like to add something. That is, certain fatwas were given in the past that was due to their time. Because these are the fatwas that we do not find any concrete evidence from Quran and Sunnah. And if we don't find any sarahat from Quran and Sunnah, then ulama, they do ijtihad. Then ulama, they derive different masail, they go deep into it, and they come up with certain fiqh injunctions and the rulings. And so there were some things in the past which are not applicable in our times. They have changed. For example, ulama, classical ulama, they have given the fatwa, if a person gives you a money, that this is my zakat money, and please distribute it amongst the fuqara, amongst the poor, then it is necessary upon you that that exact money that he gave you, you have to distribute amongst the fuqara. You can't just keep that money. For example, let's say it was $100, and you say, I'll just give another $100, not this one. So classical fuqaha, they have said this is not allowed. Why it was the case back in the day? Because of the currency itself. Because not all currency was the same. There was the gold currency, dinar, there was a silver currency, there was certain currency that had more gold in it, there are certain currency that had less gold and more other impurities in it. So the currency itself was valuable because of how much gold value it had, or how much silver it had, or how much less impurities it has. Because of that, ulama, they gave the fatwa, if someone gives you 1 dinar, but it has more concentration of gold, you can't just keep it and give another dinar that has less gold in it. So that's why they gave the fatwa back in the day, that the exact same money that is given to you, exact same you have to give out away in charity, in zakat, in sadaqat. But in our time, that is not the case. Now we have the paper money. Now we have the digital money. Now people don't even give paper money to each other. They just bank transfer, right? So now you can't even tell which one exactly, $100, $1,000. So now whatever it gives, you just give it away. That does not apply in our times. Similarly, I mentioned this before regarding Hajj as well. The classical ulama, they had given the fatwa that if the husband is the one that is entirely taking care of wife and her expenses, meaning 100% everything comes from the husband's side, then the husband is not obligated at all to take the wife with him to Hajj or Umrah. Rather, he will save money for himself, and then he will go and he will do Hajj. But some of the ulama, they have written, but if the wife, she also contributes half, not regarding that she's, let's say, going out and earning money, but in the household chores, that without her, this person would have to hire more people to actually help in the house, but the wife is the one that is taking care of all of the household matters. She actually goes out as well to buy stuff for the house and things like that she does. And without her, a person's life would become very difficult. He would have to do double the effort, double the work. So now because of that, ulama, they have given the fatwa that now a person will save not just for himself but for his wife as well because of her contribution. So some classical fatwa have changed due to change in circumstance. Ulama, they give the example of the Central Asia because, for example, when Hidayah was written about 800-900 years ago, that was the time that the wife, she would not even cook. She would not do anything. It was husband's job. He would cook for the wife. He would bring home the materials and he would cook himself and then he would feed the wife and everything. Then they gave the fatwa when it comes to going to the Hajj, he would not take the wife. He would only cover his own expenses, and once he has enough, he will go to Hajj or Umrah and then he will return. So these are some of the reasons that actually do invalidate a fast. We'll quickly mention a couple others. Vomit. If a person intentionally vomits, that will break his fast. But if a person unintentionally vomits, that will not break a person's fast. This is according to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. According to Imam al-Shafi'i, for example, he says the vomit does not break the fast at all, whether done intentionally or unintentionally. Even if a person vomits out a whole bucket, that will not break his fast. According to Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala, intentional vomit does break a fast. Unintentional vomit does not break a person's fast. Now quickly, things that do not break the fast. We already mentioned the first is the involuntary actions. A person forgets that he's fasting, he eats, he drinks something. That will not invalidate, that will not break his fast. One thing to note is that quickly, there's always a difference between khata and nisyan. Nisyan means that a person completely forgot he was fasting. Khata means that he knew he was fasting. It's just that accidentally water or food entered into his mouth. He was doing wuzu, he rinsed his mouth and the water came in. He knew I was fasting. It's just during wuzu, some of the water went inside. That will break his fast. He will have to do qaza, but there is no penalty. There is no kafara in that case. The medical injections, we already discussed that. The injections, they do not break a person's fast. However, there are certain things that I would have to add quickly. We don't have enough time. One thing is about the inhaler. If a person is suffering asthma attacks and he has to use an inhaler, then normally the inhalers come in different types. If it is an inhaler that is just oxygen, that is just pumping air into a person's stomach to expand his lungs, that will not break the fast. But it is something like vapors or medicine is actually going inside his mouth. There are certain vapors like that as well that will break a person's fast regarding the inhaler. Other thing is IV drip. Some of the scholars have said this break the fast, but the contemporary ulama, they have said the IV drip does not break a person's fast, even though it is a nutritional drip. You're actually giving this person nutrition through the IV drip that is going inside his body, but it does not break the fast since it is not going directly through any of the orifices mentioned. Dialysis. This was actually should have been in mufsidat. So if a person needs to go through the dialysis treatment, that breaks a person's fast because the entire blood comes out, it is cleansed, and then the blood goes inside. The dialysis will break a person's fast. So if a person he has reached such an age or his illness is such that he cannot live without dialysis, every single day he has to do it, then he will have to pay he will just have to pay ransom fidya. He doesn't have to fast. But if there are certain days in between where he can fast, then he will have to during those days he will have to fast, and in the day where he's actually doing dialysis he will not be fasting. So yeah, so that one. So contemporary ulama, they have said the new way where they actually have the machine attached to the body, and that does not break a person's fast. Some of the contemporary ulama they have said, but the cautious view regarding that is still that a person thinks of it like that I will have to make up for it fasting. Although the contemporary ulama they have given the fatwa that this new way actually does not break a person's fast. Applying medicine ointment on a body does not break a person's fast. Ointment, medicine on any wound, that will not break a person's fast. Kohol, surma, the eye, applying the powder on the eye, that will not break a person's fast. Miswak does not break a person's fast. Brushing the teeth, even using paste, will not, although it is makruh. Brushing teeth with a paste during fasting will not break his fast, but it is makruh. A person should avoid that. But miswak, however, it does not break a person's fast while he does so. So inshallah, we will stop here. Next time, we will cover a very important topic, and that is ru'yat hilal. That is to look exactly when the Sawm becomes fard, looking at the moon sighting and all of that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wish to understand this. Wa akhiru da'wana. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Inshallah, the continuation of Sulh al-Hudaybiyah. This is in the 6th year of Hijrah, after the Hijrah to the Medina, the 6th year. And this is the most important thing. So inshallah, I want you to remember that. So when I say like the 2nd year, you immediately remember Badr. 3rd year, Uhud. 5th year, Al-Khandaq. 6th year, Al-Hudaybiyah. So we need to, inshallah, to remember the main landmarks of the after the Hijrah, inshallah. The Prophet ﷺ, he left Al-Medina after we talked about he had a dream that he is going into Mecca and he is doing tawaf. So everyone was happy about that because it's 6 years since they left Mecca. So he left with one of his wives. Who is the wife who left with him? Sayyidah Salama. Salama, radiallahu anhu arda. So Salama. And how many of the Sahaba left with him? 1,400 people. Very important. And he is heading towards Mecca to do the Umrah. So he did not take any weapons with him or anything. They just, what they said, like they take the enough for the traveler, which means like only the swords in its own sheath. So it's not like going for war or anything, subhanAllah. So very clear, they are going for Umrah. And subhanAllah, they went like that, and they took with them as well 70 badana. They call it badana, so which is for the hadi, for the slaughtering during the Umrah and everything. And badana could be including a cow or including a camel, subhanAllah. So any like camels, between camels and cows. So, but the total number is 70. So could be, so in Arab language they call it badana, which means a fat body or a fat animal, like camel or a cow. So they went all the way, and subhanAllah, and he went from a place called what? Which is the miqat. If you are in Medina and you want to go to make Umrah in Mecca, where do you go to make this miqat? This is called miqat. Miqat. So the miqat in your Medina, this is still today. It's called the Al-Hulayfa. The Al-Hulayfa. And this is, subhanAllah, miqat Ahlul Medina. If you are in Medina and you want to do Umrah, you have to, this is your ihram point, Dhul Hulayfa. So he went to Dhul Hulayfa, and then he is going now for Umrah. And they said like, قَلَّدَ وَأَشْعَرَ هَدْيَهُ. قَلَّدَ وَأَشْعَرَ, like meaning like he picked a badana, and he said like this is going to be for, and put something to market, that this is for the slaughtering for Umrah. And ash'araha meaning he like put some kind of a iron or something into her back to get some blood out and make it like this. So it's kind of like everybody knows this is for the hadi, for the Kaaba. So it's not for riding, it's not for anything else. And he went, so meaning like the full intention to do the Umrah. And subhanAllah, he went, and as soon as he's going, and just to let you know, if this is the Medina, and this is Mecca all the way south, here is Al-Hudaybiyah. Al-Hudaybiyah. And this is just to let you know also Khaybar, and Ghatafan is in this place. So Al-Hudaybiyah in this place. Ghassan here. Ghatafan is here. So he went all the way, like going this way. And then he was told that some of people of Quraysh had known about him. Obviously 1400 is a big number. So they know they are coming to Mecca at that time, and they said, we'll never let that happen. That's never going to happen. We're going to fight him. So they had people obstructing the way, and including Khalid bin Walid, and they said like the people are wearing the tiger skins and all that, meaning like they are ready to fight. They are ready for blood. And subhanAllah, when the Prophet ﷺ knew that, he said, Ya wayha Quraysh, why Quraysh is doing this? It is clear that we are coming, doing Umrah, and we are wearing our clothes for Umrah, and we having the head. We just want to go. It's almost like to pray. I'm going to the masjid to pray. I'm not coming to fight anybody. Ya wayha Quraysh, لَقَدْ أَكَلَتْهُمُ الْحَرْبِ. There has been a lot of wars that has been destroying them one after another. We've been Badr and Uhud and Al-Khandaq and all these places. So they are being destroyed by all this. Why do you want this from me? And subhanAllah, if he's saying, the Prophet saying, if my thing, like the Islam that I'm bringing, people follow, it will be for them. And if people don't follow, that's fine for them. So they don't have to do anything. So subhanAllah, this is what the Prophet knew. And then he made mashura for the people around him. What are we going to do about these people with war and Khalid ibn al-Walid and all this? And subhanAllah, just two people to remember. Most of the people, they said, whatever you want and all this. So some of them say, if in our walk they come in our way, then we're going to fight them and we're going to beat them up. There's definitely we're going to defeat them. And subhanAllah, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he took the opinion of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq say, we are coming, leaving the Medina for Umrah. We are not leaving for battle or fighting. So we're going to go in our way for Umrah. And if they stop us from doing this, then we fight them. But we're not going to start. And then Al-Miqdad ibn Amr, we talked about Al-Miqdad before that, subhanAllah, he mentioned one of the best sentences that people were kind of like very looking at his sentence during that time. He say, we're not gonna tell you like Prophet Musa's people, اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنها هنا قاعدون. Go you and your God and fight. We are staying here waiting for you. But we're gonna tell you اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنا معكم مقاتلون. We are with you to fight with you. Subhanallah. So the Prophet ﷺ was very happy with that and say, Siru ala barakatillah. But the Prophet, he knew that the army is stopping them like this way here, blocking, so he took another way. He went all the way to avoid Khalid ibn al-Walid and avoid all the people. So meaning, I don't want to go into this street to fight, I'm going to take another street, subhanAllah. So he took another route, and then as soon as this people that is fighting Khalid and all this found the dust of them leaving and going to another place, they went back to Quraysh and telling them he's not wanting to fight. He clearly is avoiding us. He took another place. So the Prophet ﷺ here went to Al-Hudaybiyah. Al-Hudaybiyah. And then he stayed. His camel did not want to move, subhanallah. And the people will say, Khali'at, so that it's now it's old, so it's not moving. And he say, no, حبسها مانع الفيل, the one that stopped it, the same as the one who stopped the elephant before. That it is like with the command of Allah. So he went and stayed at the Hudaybiyah at that time. And subhanallah, when he stayed, the people say خليت القصواء, and the Prophet ﷺ said ما خليت القصواء وما ذلك لها بخلق ولكن حبسها حابس الفيل. The qaswa, the ride of the Prophet ﷺ has not been like anything of bad behavior or anything. Subhanallah, defending his animal, subhanallah. And this is not a behavior that it will do, subhanallah. But the one that stopped the elephant is the same one that is stopping this ride from moving, subhanallah. Summa amaraha, so it moved. But the Prophet ﷺ, when his camel moved and all that, stayed at the Hudaybiyah to see what's going to happen. And at that time, they had a well that was dry, and the people was so thirsty, coming all the way from the Medina at that time. So the Prophet ﷺ and the people coming with thirst and all that, he say, give them one of his arrows and give it to one of the people. And he say, throw it or put it in part of the well, subhanallah. And then as soon as that, the arrow came to the well, subhanallah, the water came and everybody drank from that well. So these are all authentic about the time of the Hudaybiyah and what happened. And all the people with him, with the 14 and the badan and all this and the animals, all this drank until they got fully satisfied. Now, 5 things in Al-Hudaybiyah, inshallah, we're not gonna take, like, we're gonna start with the first one. His name is Badil. Badil, and he came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he is from Khuza'a, from the tribe of Khuza'a. So he came to the Prophet ﷺ and told him, they don't want you to go without asking them, without permission. It seems like you just having these people and having all and then just going like that. And the Arab are not going to let you go and they're going to fight you and all this. So the Prophet ﷺ told this man, Badil, and he's the leader of the tribe, we did not come to fight. It is clear that we are avoiding fight. You see what happened with Khalid ibn Walid, so we are not coming to fight. But we came mu'tamirin. We came for doing Umrah. We've been 6 years not having done anything. We're just coming for Umrah. And Quraysh has been like very destroyed with all the wars and all this. If they want, I can give them only a small time. Like I can tell them we're going to go to Quraysh or Mecca for only like 2 days or 3 days. I can tell them that, and then we'll leave. Just give us some time. وَيُخَلِّيُ بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَ النَّاسِ, and they will keep us between me and the people. And if Allah make my name and kind of like the Islam spread, then it is for them. And if not, then at least they have rest from the war. Why they keep fighting, subhanallah. So Badil listened to that and then went to Quraysh and told them, listen to me and all that. And subhanallah, the people of Quraysh, some of them were not smart, say like, we don't want to hear from you anything. And some of them that were smart and kind of like wise and all that, told him, what did he say? So he told them, he's not coming for war, he's coming for this. And I have seen the camels with him, I have seen the cows, and he is coming for Umrah. All of the dress and all that, they're not coming for fight. So he said, like, we're not going to take that. He can, if he come to us without any permission, all the Arab are going to say that he is just doing whatever he wants. We're not going to let that happen. As soon as that happened, the second thing happened. The Prophet ﷺ now knew that this man is not, they are not allowing him. So he want to send an ambassador to Quraysh to talk. Until all this time, this is the first one, and he came and nothing happened. So he said, like, I'm going to send an ambassador. And I want you to think about that, subhanAllah. What do you know about Umar ibn al-Khattab? Umar ibn al-Khattab, subhanAllah, if I ask you about your opinion, you will say strong, and he was like taking care of everything without any fear and any worry and all that. But subhanAllah, see what happened here, so you can actually understand the whole personality, subhanAllah. The Prophet ﷺ was first inviting Umar and told him, I'm going to send you to Quraysh to tell them about we coming here for this and negotiate with them, and that we are coming only for Umrah and make it easy and all that. SubhanAllah, Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab, very smart. And in the places like this, he's extremely aware about what happened. He say, I am worried about myself from Quraysh. I have no family there. I have everybody left with me, and they know what I have against them. As soon as they see me and all this, they're going to kill me. They are going to do that, subhanAllah. Which tells you, Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab, he's like, subhanAllah, the idea to become a martyr for the sake of Allah and following what the Prophet wants from him is easy for him. But that's not the point. He's looking at what can help the Muslims at that time. Subhanallah. And he say, you know my animosity toward Quraysh and how I've been very hard on them and how I left them and all this, and I was all the time like this. But let me tell you about a man that Quraysh cannot touch. The Prophet ﷺ told him, tell me. He said, Uthman ibn Affan. Uthman ibn Affan is very peaceful. Everybody loves him. Quraysh loves him. So nobody can touch him. So the Prophet ﷺ again took with the mashura of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu warda, and told him, okay, send me Uthman. Prophet ﷺ sent Uthman ibn Affan to Quraysh. As soon as Uthman got closer to Mecca, and they saw him, Ibn, which is, he's a son of Sa'id ibn al-As, the brother of Amr ibn al-As, his son, saw him, so immediately took him on his camel behind him, like already respecting him and all that, and told him, nobody can touch you, which was true, what Umar ibn Khattab told him. Nobody will touch you and all this. You are in my juwar. As soon as he came to Quraysh and met with them and told them about what happened, he said, like, okay, let us think about that. You can go to the Bayt and make tawaf. Subhanallah. He hasn't seen the Bayt and Mecca in 6 years. Born there. How do you feel if you go to Mecca and see the Kaaba? Subhanallah. Osman has never been like away for 6 years. Subhanallah. He's born in the like Mecca and everything. His heart is there. Everything. That's the best thing he can imagine, to go and make tawaf and make umrah. But subhanallah, he said no. I would never do this before the Prophet ﷺ. ما كنت لأفعل حتى يطوف رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. I would never do that. So Uthman told them this, so Quraysh held him for a few days, told him, okay, let's think, let's not go back and all this. So the rumor came to the Prophet ﷺ that they held him and killed him. So the second thing is Uthman ibn Affan being sent. Then the third thing is the rumor of Uthman ibn Affan. So what is going to happen? The very famous thing that you all know about, it's called the Treaty of Rudwan. Bay'at al-Rudwan. Bay'at al-Rudwan. The Treaty of Rudwan. And subhanAllah, this is one of the most important things that happened in the history of all the Muslims. Bay'at al-Rudwan, the Treaty of Rudwan. And subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ, as soon as he heard about that, he said like, okay, now it's time to fight. Uthman was killed, and I sent him as an ambassador. We're gonna go and take care of that. So he gathered, and he was under a tree. And this is the Bay'at Ridwan. He was under the tree, and I say, who would have the bay'ah with me to go and fight Quraysh? The whole 1400 made bay'ah with the Prophet ﷺ. And then he said, and this is the hand of Uthman on my hand. And he did this with his hand, subhanAllah. And the Sahaba say, so the hand of Uthman was the most honorable one of all of us, because it was the hand of the Prophet ﷺ. And Jabir ibn Abdullah in Sahih Muslim say, we all made bay'ah under the tree of the Ridwan. And the Prophet ﷺ made bay'ah with himself for Uthman ibn Affan. And he said, هذه يد عثمان. This is the hand of Uthman. As if the hand of the Prophet ﷺ is the hand of Uthman. And the Prophet ﷺ say, إن عثمان في حاجة الله وحاجة رسوله. Allah knows that Uthman is doing what Allah wants and what I want. Subhanallah. So giving, subhanallah, the full respect and honor and integrity to Sayyidina Uthman ibn Affan. So subhanallah, Hafiz ibn Kathir, Imam ibn Kathir, the one who Ibn Kathir, he say, this is considered to be one of the most honorable thing for Uthman ibn Affan, that the Prophet ﷺ say this hand, and this is the bay'ah and all this. And then after that, what happened? The Quran later on revealed, لَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ يُبَايِعُونَكَ تَحْتَ الشَّجَرَةِ. And this is in Surah Al-Fath. All this will appear on the way going back to Medina, not now. لَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ يُبَايِعُونَكَ تَحْتَ الشَّجَرَةِ. And this is Surah Al-Fath. Surah Al-Fath all was revealed for Al-Hudaybiyah. The whole Al-Hudaybiyah, that's why I want you to remember Al-Hudaybiyah in the 6th year of Hijrah. Surah Al-Fath, all of it revealed about Bay'at Sulh Hudaybiyah, wa Bay'at Ridwan and everything, subhanallah. And Allah mentioned that He is pleased with all the people, the 1400 who made bay'ah to the Prophet ﷺ under the tree. لَقَدْ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ يُبَايِعُونَكَ تَحْتَ الشَّجَرَةِ. Subhanallah. And they say, the Prophet ﷺ in Hadith Sahih, في الشيخان, Bukhari or Muslim say, أنتم خير أهل الأرض. You are the best of the people of earth at this point. Subhanallah, the 1400. And another hadith, Musnad al-Imam Ahmad, لا يدخل النار ممن بايع تحت الشجرة. Nobody will go to the hellfire from the one who made the treaty under the tree. Subhanallah. So Bay'at Ridwan was a major thing in the history of that time. And then, subhanAllah, small things, and next time we'll cover Al-Hudaybiyah before the time. Some of the mushrikeen, after they knew about this bay'ah and say they're gonna come and all this, they say about 70 to 80. They came from the place of closer to Hudaybiyah, and the Prophet ﷺ and the Muslims were able to all gather them without killing any of them and hold them. And the Prophet asked him, who sent you and what happened and all this? And they sent nobody sent us. SubhanAllah, they were just zealous and want to do some damage and all that. And the Prophet ﷺ saying go, we don't need any fighting or anything, SubhanAllah. No bloodshed. They came to fight with the Prophet, and they came to kill and to do this, and in their mind, maybe we're going to kill the leaders of them. SubhanAllah, the Prophet held them, all of them, and tell them, okay, go back. We don't need to fight or anything. SubhanAllah, without anything, without any holding as asra or negotiation or anything. And the Quran came also in Surah Al-Fath, the same thing. وَهُوَ الَّذِي كَفَّ أَيْدِيَهُمْ عَنْكُمْ وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ عَنْهُمْ. And Allah is the one who holds you from fighting them and them fighting you. SubhanAllah. Allah is the one who had no bloodshed in that time. وهو الذي كف أيديهم عنكم وأيديكم عنهم ببطن مكة من بعد أن أظفركم عليهم. After you were able to overcome them. وكان الله بما تعملون بصيرا. And this is in Ayah 24. After you captured them, Allah has made it to be no bloodshed at that time. And subhanAllah, this is what happened after the Hudaybiyah. The only thing next time, inshallah, we'll cover, which is the fifth thing, which is the Sulh, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. This is and you already know the 5 points of it, and it is 5 as well, of what happened in Sulh Hudaybiyah. And remember that he came with Salama, and the role of the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, and the mind and the wisdom of the women, subhanallah, in the history of Islam will be clear on that time, subhanallah, and how the Muslims take on what the Prophet ﷺ and what we can learn from all that. So inshallah we'll continue with the sulh next time inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك إن شاء الله. جزاكم الله خيرا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. In this lesson, very briefly inshallah, we shall discuss the sleeping of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as you can see, the two arrows, they point towards, first and foremost, the word Sunan Huda. And the second one is Sunan Az-Zawaid. So Sunan Huda refers to those worships, those practices of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are worship. And a person who carries these practices out will receive reward. And if he leaves them out without an excuse or because of carelessness, he will acquire punishment. For example, salah with congregation, adhan, iqama, sunan muakkada, etc., etc. But this is not the topic of discussion today. The topic of discussion is this part here, Sunan Zawaid. Sunan Zawaid refers to habits of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what were the sleeping etiquettes, what were the sleeping habits of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If a person was to practice these practices, these teachings, he will inshallah acquire reward. But if he misses them out, he will not receive punishment, and nor should he criticize others for not doing those actions. So sleeping comes under this heading. Likewise, eating of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his way of speaking, his way of talking, his way of walking, his way of doing all of his normal worldly routine and his habits. So Sunan Zawaid means habits, and Sunan Huda means worship. Now, some of the sunnahs of sleeping, I'll just very briefly go over them and then we'll discuss them in detail afterwards. Number one, before a person goes to sleep, he should try to make wudu. Sleep in a state of wudu. Number two, recitation of the masnoon du'as before going to sleep. It's mentioned in the hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would recite several du'as. Among those du'as are, number one, Allahumma bismika amutu wa ahya. O Allah, I sleep in your name, who gives life and who gives death. Allahumma qini adhabak yawma tab'athu ibadak. O Allah, protect me from the punishment on the day that you will punish your servants. Sorry, on the day that you will resurrect your servants. And then there's morning and evening du'as which should be recited. There are also certain surahs which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would recite. For example, the last three surahs of the Quran, Surah Ikhlas, Surah Falaq, and Surah Nas. Likewise, Ayatul Kursi. Likewise, the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, starting from آمن الرسول بما أنزل until the end of the surah. And there's other surahs like Surah Al-Mulk, Surah Alif Lam Mim Sajda, Surah Al-Waqi'ah, which should be recited. And anytime after Maghrib will suffice. Number four, applying sudama, chlorium, to the eyes. Number five, dusting the bed 3 times. So inshallah, we will go over this in detail afterwards. Not only is this an Islamic etiquette, but these etiquettes, they've been researched by modern science. And modern science will shock you when you hear the health benefits. But again, we don't practice the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu because science said so. We are doing it because Allah has said so. But this just further enhances our yaqeen and our conviction in his beautiful teachings. So number 5, dusting the bed. Number 6, sleeping on the ground. Again, modern science, modern research will astonish you in respect to the benefits that it has mentioned in respect to sleeping on the ground. Number 7, sleeping with on the right side with the right hand under the right cheek. So obviously a person's posture will change during his sleep, but at least he should start his sleep in this posture. And the Prophet ﷺ discouraged sleeping on one's stomach, flat on one's stomach. Likewise, he discouraged sleeping in such a manner that a person is sleeping on his back and both of his feet are overlapping one another. If this happens unknowingly in a person's sleep, then this is out of his control. Number 8, facing the Qibla. So again, at least a person should start his sleep by facing the Qibla. And if he has to change otherwise, so if he has to change during his sleep or automatically or unknowingly if he changes, then again, that's out of his control. Number 9, upon awakening, he should first and foremost wash his hands. There's a hadith where it's mentioned, because a person does not know where his hands spent the night. And in the olden days, they didn't have facilities, modern day facilities as we did today, where we can go to the sink, wash our hands, and start wudu. They would first have to wash their hands and thereafter place their hands inside the bucket of water to make wudu. So if the hands are placed inside the bucket of water and there's filth, dirt, or germs, or unknown contaminants, then that could pollute the water. Not from the Shari perspective, but from the health perspective. And number 10, reciting the du'as upon awakening. So inshallah we shall discuss the benefits of these sleeping etiquettes in more detail next week. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين صدق الله العظيم.